All right, we're going to get there. Just bear with me a minute. Just bringing everything up. It's a very complicated process, apparently. All right, so we'll do this. Connect. So that should be the first thing that's done. There we go. Got to complete my post details. I know that if I had help, that this would go faster, but I don't. So it does. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm doing the best I can over here with my limited technological capabilities. And now we are live on TikTok. That's my main source of commentary and viewers, as such, for the moment. At this time, that's the most. This one is mostly just about why you should vote Libertarian. It's kind of one of those funny things where it's we understand some stuff about. Let me hold on. Let me get this. Yeah, there we go. We do understand some things about how broken our system is. Like we get how broken it is, and one of the things we complain about constantly is how much money plays a role in politics. It's a big deal, and I always say that I say this to say money defeated Thomas Massey in Kentucky. Money defeated him. I don't think the majority of his supporters in that district are very happy, but voters don't show up in the primaries, and enough money and enough negativity got him ousted in Kentucky. And so money controls the election process. And so there's this weird thing with voters who will say we need to get money out of politics, but they don't vote for candidates who don't have a lot of money. You understand? Here's so you have Green Party candidates, you have libertarians, you have constitutions, socialists, all these different people run for office. And the overwhelming majority are exactly what the voter is saying that they want. Just a regular person who's has sound principles and wants to do a very certain and specific thing, tells the voters what they believe in and says, this is how I'm going to vote. And as a result, and so you should vote for me. And what I hear as a libertarian a lot is we believe in what you're saying. I'm a relatively conservative libertarian. I have conservative personal values. I just don't think the government is a good arbiter. In fact, I know the government is a terrible arbiter of moral values and behavior, and I don't want the government playing that role in our personal lives. And so, as a libertarian, I go, okay, I'm self-funding. I'm just a regular guy with a regular job. I'm a stay-at-home dad now, and so people will tell me, I love your ideas. I love what you have to say, but I can't vote for you because you can't win. And it's this classic argument of, well, I could win if everybody who says they agree with me would vote for me. And what I've come to realize is when they say you can't win, what they mean is you don't have enough money to buy this election. I don't see your ads. I don't see yard signs. I don't see all the accoutrement that comes with a well-funded campaign. And so I can't vote for you because you don't have any money. That's it. And then after the election's over, they go, we got to get money out of politics. Think about that for a minute. That's an interesting thing. So why should you vote libertarian? That's me opening a beer. It's Friday night, so just deal with it. Why should you vote libertarian? First and foremost, I'm running in the upstate South Carolina, a predominantly rural district. These people don't like government. They're just, I think that there's a large anti-government sentiment in the small, first of all, we're a very red state. And I think that in a place like this, people have a natural distrust. These people don't want government running health care and housing and all these different things. It's a naturally anti-government sentiment here. There's nobody more anti-government than the libertarians. Uh, so from an ideological standpoint, we align with you. But more importantly, we are not the party of the billionaire class. We're just not. One of the funny things that I always hear from people on the political left is if libertarians had the way corporations would run the world, and I go, well, why aren't the corporations funding us then? Where's all that corporate money? Because we're the third largest political party in the country. We do have some sway. And if we had that kind of funding, we could win some elections and start moving government in our direction. Wouldn't corporations just eat that up? Isn't that chef's kiss for them if that's who we actually are as a political party, as sycophants for corporate America? We're not. We want competition. We want free markets. And if you've already cornered the market and you're wealthy because of the status quo, the last thing you want is somebody who's going to rock that boat. So it's always an interesting conversation. This is my third campaign as a libertarian. And it just blows my mind every time. It just gets me every time. I always challenge people to tell me why one of those two teams there on the screen, on YouTube and Facebook machine, I haven't figured out the technology to get this on. But I have a Democrat, Republicans, check. Promotes perpetual war, never stops spending, spies on Americans, doesn't care who's on Epstein's client list, owned by Big Pharma, owned by military industrial complex, doesn't give an F about you. And I think most Americans at this phase are like, yeah, those. It's hard to find an argument against any of those things. And we're still going to go vote for them. I don't know how we solve this problem. I don't know how we get out of our own way when it comes to turning this around, turning the electorate around in a way that allows us to actually make a significant difference in how things work. I don't know if it's possible, honestly. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm going to do what I do, which is to keep giving you an option outside of that. That's my predominant goal, is just, hey, there's an option for you. I'm going to go live as often as I can. I don't have a ton of money to buy a bunch of ad space. I certainly don't have PACs and corporations and all that stuff backing me. So all I can do is reach out and give you the option, and then it's up to you what to do with it. So I don't have a specific issue planned for tonight. I'm doing this event in Iowa, South Carolina tomorrow, and so I'm super, trying to throw that together at the last minute, which that's 100% my fault. Poor planning on my part. And then, I'm a husband and a father. I don't have a staff or whatever, so I'm just kind of a busy guy. So, yeah. So I've been running around trying to get that done. I had to borrow a table from somebody. I'm going to get rid of some stuff here and see if I can create a little bit better display outlay for my people at the. I wonder if this would work. Hold on, let me drag this over here. Oh yeah, that does work. Let me just see how that. Put that right there, and then hold on a second. I might have something for you here in a second. We're gonna trash can that. I know there's two of me. Watch out. It's Brianception. I could just blow this up, right? Like this. And then I can get rid of my video capture device. I don't know. I'm worried about that because I might not be able to get it back. How's that look? That's pretty good, right? Look at me figuring stuff out. This is like a cheat a little bit, but I like it. This is for the people on the... It doesn't mess up my TikTok feed. That's pretty good. Look at me. I'm figuring stuff out, man. I'm a rock star. Somebody in my comment section in the TikTok side is talking to me about aspect ratio. Bro, I don't you know what I mean? I'm doing the best I can over here. I don't know how to fix this stuff. I don't have a staff. The idea that, let me transition this real quick. This might screw things up. Let's see. Nope, didn't screw things up. All right, we might have something going here. Oh, because it's my virtual feed to the thing. Okay, Good deal. Looks like it's working out okay. Put the pic in ChatGPT and I'll fix it. Can you not see the pic on? Is it just not big enough? Can you just not make it out, or what's the deal? I don't know what's going on. They're saying my picture is not coming through clearly, but I like this. I think this is a pretty solid. I'm more impressed with what I'm doing on the OBS side. I can't. It's just cut off some. Yeah, I gotta I gotta stretch it a certain amount to make it work on the other platforms. I'm on 3 platforms right now, so I'm trying to make it as good as it can across as many platforms as possible. That's what's going on right now. I'm looking for questions. I'm literally very much only going to do about an hour tonight, if that much. I got to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and drive to this Iva, South Carolina for their Spring Fest and car show tomorrow because I'm doing a table event there. So if you're in South Carolina, if you live in the upstate, come and see me. That'd be awesome. I'd love it. Answer questions. I posted on Facebook. I almost said on the Facebook. On Facebook that I come and talk to me, and we'll talk politics in person instead of it's just like on the internet, only nicer. So it's like we're all real tough on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, but we're all very nice to each other, very civil in person. So come talk to me in person. Learn a little bit about libertarianism. Be good for everybody. Somebody in my comment section on TikTok just found like a random person that they happen to know. That's kind of cool. I actually found somebody in the chat who I hope to meet tomorrow in the chat who's in the upstate and is hoping to swing by Iva. And I hope to meet Susan. That's her handle. So that's why I'm calling out her name. I won't give the last name. I hope to meet her in person tomorrow. That'd be pretty cool. And I also had somebody give me a lot of love for Casey Whitener, who's running for Senate in South Carolina. She'll probably be challenging Lindsey Graham, although the polls are starting to move a little bit towards Mark Lynch. I'm not sure. The Mark Lynch, Lindsey Graham, Donald Trump love triangle is one of the funniest things I think I've seen in South Carolina, where Mark Lynch is trying to paint himself as the ultimate Trump loyalist. Trump's calling him a disaster for the Republican Party while wrapping his arms around Lindsey Graham. And all the Trump supporters don't know what to do because he just worked hard to toss Thomas Massie and is wrapping his arms around Lindsey Graham, who I don't know any Republicans who like him. And I'm just wondering where the principled vote is. Where's the principled vote? It's like, that's a bad person. That's a bad policy. I'm voting against it. I'd like to hear from some Trump supporters tonight, actually. Because I'm in a red state and this is Trump country. And I want to hear from Trump voters, questions from Trump voters about why they should vote for me, why I don't like Donald Trump, defending maybe Trump's policies, give me a perspective on that maybe I don't understand. I think the war in Iran is a disaster, terrible strategic mistake on his part. I think what his generals were telling him is that if he attacked Iran and cut the head off, that the people would rise up and overthrow the regime. I think that's what they were counting on. And obviously that didn't happen, and now they're looking for a way out. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me what the way out is. Okay. Let me move this back over here so I can see the comments better. Yeet. Yeah, nope, something weird happened. Oh, I can't move that back over there because that's my TikTok. See, you gotta see, that's the downside. It's blocked by the mic. It's on the wrong screen. I gotta do my display change, but I'm not gonna try and do that while I'm live. Let me just move this over here. I haven't paid attention to drama. Oh, there's stuff going on in the chat over there that doesn't matter. So I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear people's perspective on the Libertarian Party in general. What do you think of us? I get a lot of different opinions. Of course, Democrats think we're super conservative. Liberals and Democrats think we're super conservative. Republicans think we're just a bunch of pot-smoking Republicans. So I'd love to get some perspective and some feedback on that and answer questions about the Libertarian Party in general. Essentially, we're just a bunch of disaffected people from both sides of the aisle who have come to the obvious conclusion that government is terrible. It's bad at what it does. It's horribly corrupt. The $2 trillion in deficit spending every year, plus the overly regulatory environment is almost wholly responsible for the reason you can't afford things. And for the most part, we have a lot of we're a pretty eclectic group. You have anarchists and minarchists and anarcho-capitalists and all kinds of people in our movement. But if you asked every single libertarian if they could just shove the federal government back into its constitutionally restricted box, if we could just get that done, then people would be very happy. And that's really what we're looking to do. It's a weird thing that's been going on with my live feed, by the way, on TikTok, is that none of my normals are showing up. I'm not getting anywhere near the audience I usually get. So TikTok's obviously suppressing me. I don't know what I did. Principal's here, though. Hi, Principal. Thank you for coming. Steel Quill is here. Another Norm. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. But, yeah, it's weird. 2 weeks ago, I had 30, 40. That's not a huge number. People in here. I got mass reported a couple of weeks ago, and ever since then, I can't break single digits over here. So it's really disappointing. So I'm running the other two platforms. This has happened to me multiple times on the TikTok platform. And so if I can build an audience someplace else, that's where I'll go. And hopefully some of my normal viewers will follow me over there, because this is just ridiculous. I'm let me see what's going on in the multi-chat. Nobody wants to come up. That's all right. It's been a weird couple of lives for me. Hopefully things will pick back up next week. You know what I need to do is I need to set up actual interviews. Tomorrow morning, like I said, I'll be at this event, but I'm also supposed to be speaking on a live with the leader of the UK Libertarian Party. That should be interesting. It's in the morning at this festival, so I don't think I'll get interrupted too much. So I'm going to try and have that live. So hopefully that goes well. But it's going to be a short one. It's super dull. It's super dull in here. But one of the things you got to remember is that when it comes to posting content, you have to be consistent. You have to keep posting even when things aren't looking great. And that's tonight. It's Friday night also. I forgot about that. Friday night's always a terrible night. People are doing much better things than listening to some political guy on TikTok. So I just don't have a lot right now. Still, Steel Quill, thank you for sharing with over 10 people. I appreciate it. You know what I need is a raid. I need Tumblr to come in here and raid my deal. That's always what happens when it's super slow. And I'm like, I'm going to get off here. I watched a fascinating video by, it's an older video by Shoe on Head. And she's reacting to leftists reacting to her response to Trump winning. It's always a great video. She has well over 1 million followers, and her videos get like 1 million views a piece. So she obviously doesn't need me to promote her, but it's a pretty funny video. You should go and watch it. And it just shows from my perspective, and this may be my conservative bias showing. I am more conservative leaning than I am left leaning. One of the funny things to me about this is that they're just her thing is like, they're just so unreasonable. They couldn't acknowledge that maybe Kamala just wasn't a very good candidate. And like, it's just funny how dialed into, if you don't think exactly like me, then you're a terrible, horrible person. You are a schmaltzy sympathizer and a racist and a misogynist. And the left has really kind of lost its mind in that aspect. And I think it's a really dangerous thing, because at the end of the day, we want to be able to call out actual, real threats to society. We want to be able to call out racists and pin that on a person and say that person is racist and here's why. And it's like, I remember hearing like Republicans were going to cut welfare spending and that was racist. I'm like, well, saying that's racist, you idiots. And from then on out, anybody who disagreed, and this really caught fire when Obama was running, if you disagreed with Obama, it wasn't because you were conservative and a Republican and this wasn't your guy. It's because you were a racist. Hillary Clinton wins the popular vote in 2016 and calls the country misogynist. Kamala Harris loses the Latin vote. And they say, well, Latin America is very, South America, whatever. First of all, Mexico's in North America, but that's a whole other thing. Uh, Hispanics are very misogynist. And it's like, well, Mexico has a female president with like an 80% approval rating, which was something Shuan had pointed out. It's like, it's never our policies are bad or we put out a bad candidate or any of that stuff. It's always this ism, your racism and misogynism. I said ism, so I had to try and make that work. Man, what a weird lot. It's been weird. It's been really weird. But at the end of the day, I'll give you the reasons to vote for libertarians. And your average politician is essentially going to tell you this. I'm going to go to Washington, D.C. I'm going to fight for you. We're going to bring back American jobs. We're going to get you that living wage. We're going to tax these people and give you their money. Blah, 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 blah. A bunch of promises that they have no real means of keeping. There's no way for them to keep any of these promises. It's just stuff they say. It's a very standard issue. I came off the politician assembly line. I was the next in line. This is where the money went. So just vote for me because I'm going to win because this is where all the money is. That's the truth. But they make all these empty promises. All I can tell you about my campaign is this. I'm just going to tell you the truth. The reason you can't afford things is because the government's spending too much money. I will vote against it every time. I'll be the new Dr. No in the U.S. House of Representatives who just says, no, I'm not voting for this because it adds $2 trillion to the budget deficit. No, I'm not voting for this because the federal government doesn't have the constitutional right to do these things. And then I'm just going to tell you the truth to the best of my ability. And to the best of my ability means, based on all the information I have, this is what I perceive to be the truth. That's it. That's all I can do. There's no like politician who's going to solve none of these people are going to solve any of your problems. None of them. No matter what promises they make, no matter what hyperbolic speech they give you about how we're going to solve all this, you'll be able to buy a house. That's all garbage. None of these people have the power to solve any of your problems. What they're going to do is go to Washington, D.C., make deals. Hopefully they can get a little bit of the bag maybe and bring it back to their district. But in order to do that, they're going to have to horse trade like crazy, which is what leads to massive budget deficits, which is what leads to the affordability crisis. So at the end of the day, none of these people are out to help you. If they wanted to help you, if they really wanted to help you, they would just tell you the truth and inform the voter about how broken that system is so that you would literally stop voting for them. The problem is the people who stand up and tell the truth get voted out. That's what happened to Thomas Massey. He got voted out. He's like, I'm not signing this bill because it adds $2 trillion to the budget deficit. Hey, maybe we should release the Epstein files like we promised. Hey, maybe we shouldn't be engaging in this war in Iran. And now he's not there anymore. Little black pill Friday for you. I got America in the comment section. That's how we do it. That is how we do it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to stay on this platform. I'm going to stay on the platform. I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to give up. But this is what happens every time. Every time. And I'm telling you, I think it's an algorithm based thing. I think it's an AI based thing. It's like I'm having really good, really meaningful conversations with people who genuinely disagree with me. And the audience starts to grow. And then all of a sudden, it gets smacked down. I go live, nobody's here. People that are usually in every one of my lives disappear because they don't even know that I'm live. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. I'm doing a bunch of sour grape stuff tonight. That's not very appealing as a political candidate, but I'm not a professional political operative or anything. I'm just a guy with a microphone. Maybe I should check out what's going on in YouTube. Maybe I'm getting some comments over there, but I don't even know how to do that from the thing here. One of the things I want to inform everybody of is that this is largely me just doing technical experiments to see what works and what doesn't. So just bear that in mind. I'm trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, how to do these on a regular basis without having a serious technical breakdown. Last night I was told that I had a static image of my face. I had my campaign banner up here. And that's why I wasn't getting viewers. And tonight I'm being told nothing. Nobody's here. ISM, ism, LOL. Right. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Sad stuff. Maybe it's wrong because there's the comment section is doing all right. So maybe it's just showing me the wrong number of viewers. I don't know. It's just a weird night. Anyway, I have no questions. I have nothing going on. What time is it? It is 9:30. I might call it because it's Friday night and there's just nobody around. You know what I should do? Here's what I do. Let's see if we can't. See if I can't make this happen. Hold on. Let me pull up my. Let's pull this.
Whenever I bring up the fact that our infrastructure is falling apart and it's Israel's fault, everybody goes, "Oh, you just want to blame the Jews." All right, sit down and let me show you how it goes. Everybody knows about the federal funding.
Let's see who's live. See if one of my people's live. We'll just. I like to do this. Well, I'll just sit in on somebody else's live and give them props since mine's not doing anything. But Tumblr's not even live. That's weird. Usually he pops up, but I guess not. Look, it's me. It's Brianception right now with like I'm 6 deep in lives. Am I logged in here? What the hell is going on? It's crazy. It's Friday night. I just don't think anybody's into it right now. That's the deal. Who's this? Nope, that's not it. What else we got? Abortions are for bops. Okay, that's no good. Nope, nothing's happening here. Ooh, look at that. That's a pretty solid bit of something. It's hard to believe this is the live feed of a political candidate, isn't it? Nope. Video quality just got adjusted. All right. I guess that's not going to work out either. It's a weird night. It's Friday night. It's 9:30. I'm going on a half hour. Guys, I'm sorry. This live was a dud. Hey, they can't all be bangers. I will be back probably Saturday night, but most likely Monday night at 9:30. I'll do a little bit of lives here and there just because TikTok likes the momentum. If you keep doing it, it tends to eventually feed itself. Thanks for the follow. Look, I still got a follow out of this one. Rebel Bad Girl 967. Follow me, so I appreciate that. He has a job now, Wrench Day? You're talking about Tumblr? He has a job now? That's unfortunate. Jobs are for suckers. I've heard all the socialists have told me that the worst thing you can possibly have is a job. So I hope you're not talking about Tumblr getting a job. We don't want that. Just back this up a little bit. I hope it's not Tumblr. I hope Tumblr doesn't have a job. We need him live. We need him on here. He is the greatest live voice for libertarianism. I'm getting cut off. Something is weird is going on. I'm going to be back on probably tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Thanks for the follow, Rebel. Believe me when I tell you that. It's usually better than this.